What's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris Dom One, and I am back with another video. Rate, comment, subscribe if you're old or new to my channel. Hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream is going down. Let me get into this topic because I had a viewer on my last live stream say, hurry up and set everything. Well, you're trying to say set? Were you trying to spell the word set or say? I'm thinking you're trying to say say, but let's get into today's topic. I'm just playing with you guys. I'm just playing with you. Let's get into today's topic, what we learned from the first round of the NBA playoffs. We learned a lot of things. First, let's get to last night's game, the Pacers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I told you guys how it was going to end. I said the Cavaliers were going to win because the referees are not going to allow, the referee wasn't going to dictate who was going to win that series. Ultimately, it was going to be skill versus will. And we learned a lot of things in that playoff series. The Pacers are for real. They're legit. I think they can give the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, and yes, the Philadelphia 76ers some hell next year. I think they need to add another superstar. Victor Home Depot proved without a shadow of a doubt he's a good player, but he's not a franchise player that can elevate a team to a playoff series win. All right, a lot of people were throwing this narrative out like, wow, look at the Victor Home Depot. I mean, he's making the Pacers very impressive. Meanwhile, when his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're having a hard time, and maybe it had more to do with Russell Westbrook. Everybody was on that narrative, and I think when you talk about both of these players, I feel like both of these players are responsible for the team that they had last year. And Victor Home Depot, I don't think he should be asking for the max. I think he lost a lot of money in this playoff series, not betting. But when you're talking about his salary, a lot of GMs are going to point to this this playoff series and say, you're a good guy and all. You're a good player, but you're not a franchise marquee player. You can't elevate a team to the series. You're going to need help. And a lot of people are going to say, well, a lot of franchise players need help. And if you look on the other side of the court, LeBron James proved without a shadow of a doubt, he's one of the top 3 players of this NBA season. Okay, the man virtually had no one on the Cleveland Cavaliers that can propel them out of this series. If it wasn't for LeBron James, when you talk about his talent on the court, the Cleveland Cavaliers would have been swept. Now, there have been occasions, there were brief moments in that playoff series where Christian Thompson stepped up a little bit, Kevin Love stepped up a little bit before he got injured, Kyle Korver stepped up, but the one player who stayed consistently at a high level was LBJ. So you're going to have to give the guy some props, okay? When you're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and the Cleveland Cavaliers, that was over with Saturday. It proves that Brad Stevenson is a hell of a coach, right? A hell of a coach. And it also proved how talented the the Boston Celtics are when they get Kyrie Irving back, when they get Gordon Hayward, when they get these 2 players back, and on top of that, they're going to add talent. Okay, I think if they keep their cast, they're going to be a big time threat in the Eastern Conference. All right. When you swing to the other side of the Milwaukee Bucks, I think the Milwaukee Bucks, the jury is out, and I think the Milwaukee Bucks need to add more talent. And the one player that they can dangle to other GMs is Jamari Parker. I didn't like what the effort and the play Jamari Parker gave to the Milwaukee Bucks. He really didn't elevate the team. He's just he's in the same boat like Victor Home Depot. All right, they're good players, great guy and all, but they're not marquee franchise players. All right, and they had many occasions to prove that theory, and they have fallen flat on their face. So the Milwaukee Bucks, they can make that a better team by simply they're going to have to trade something to get more picks or more players, and Jamari Parker is the one that's pretty much the odd man out. Okay, and they're going to need a veteran coach. All right, Jason Kidd might have been on to something when he was trying to trade Jamari Parker, but got vetoed and denied by the organization, and then the organization decided to let him go. So maybe Jason Kidd was on to something, but it's a players' league. I understand that, but you got to back the right players, and I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks backed the right player when they decide who was going to go first, Jason Kidd or Jamari Parker. So they're going to need a veteran type of coach that the team is going to respect, which they do respect their coaches. On the other side, when you're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, trust the process. I, as well as many other people, last summer was talking about how I didn't believe the hype in the 76ers. I didn't like the direction the 76ers were going. Ben Simmons, I felt like he needed a couple of more seasons to elevate, but I was wrong. They are a playoff team. They are a contender for the throne, but they're not at the same level as the Boston Celtics. When the Boston Celtics get their two players back, I think the Boston Celtics are extremely talented. The series between the Boston Celtics and the 76ers, I'm going to give the nod a little bit to the 76ers because they have a little bit more talent on the floor than the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have lost 3 key players, all right? So thanks for the thumbs up. So I don't see a scenario where the Boston Celtics are going to win this series, but they're going to make it interesting. It's not going to be a sweep. I think it's going to take 5 or 6 games, and ultimately the 76ers are going to prevail. All right. On the west side of things, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they got a lot of explaining to do in the offseason. Clearly, they're going to have to convince Paul George to stay with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And if I was Paul George, I would give it I would give it a try. You know, you have to realize something. When the Miami Heat formed the Big Three, they lost the NBA Finals in their first year. So Rome wasn't built in a day, okay? And I feel like Paul George fits perfectly well with Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook is going to have to allow these players to grow and profit from the success that they have on the court. I don't think Russell Westbrook should have the theory of is Russell Westbrook or bust. I think Russell Westbrook is going to have to add team elements to his play. I think he needs to ditch worrying about trying to get a triple-double and more involving himself in a team type of goal. Not to say, I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook was a ball hogger or anything like that, but I think he needs to incorporate the other talent that the Oklahoma City has. There's a rumor out there that suggests that they're thinking about trading, not trading, excuse me, Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. And Carmelo Anthony don't like it now, but if Carmelo Anthony really thinks about it, he will flourish in that role coming off the bench. He doesn't have to defend the best of the best on the court, and he can pretty much have his way with the second string unit on the other team. The Utah Jazz, I think the Utah Jazz has some interesting pieces, all right? But just like last night's game, I called it. The Houston Rockets are going to have their way with the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are clearly not there yet. This was, one of those situations. I don't see anybody stopping James Harden. And as long as CP3 stays healthy, which I think he should in this series, because they're not going to ask for him to do a lot on the offensive side of things. The Houston Rockets, if they don't sweep them, the Utah Jazz may steal one game. It may take 5 games, but it's still a sweep, okay? The Houston Rockets are proving that they're a up-and-coming team, that a lot of teams better be concerned about the Houston Rockets. When you talk about the Golden State Warriors, with the San Antonio Spurs, they dethroned them. The San Antonio Spurs, they're going to have to figure out to keep Kawhi Leonard happy. But if they're unable to, they should let him go and let him find his own path with another team. And in return, they should get a hell of a lot of draft picks and some players that can help them next year. But I'm thinking that from what I hear, the Spurs are really trying to reestablish the connection and the relationship with Kawhi Leonard, all right? When you're talking about the Golden State Warriors, they beat a undermanned Spurs team with Kawhi Leonard not there and Greg Popovich missing the final 3 games, even though they won a game when Greg Popovich wasn't there. That's neither here nor there. But like I said, when they play against the Pelicans really don't have an answer for Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, who is going to defend those players. And any given night in these series, Kevin Durant can go off and Kyrie Irving can go off as well. Draymond Green is thriving, and I think he should be a finals defensive player of the year, okay? And they have enough talent there that it shouldn't be a problem with them surpassing the Pelicans. I think the only way the Pelicans can dethrone the Golden State Warriors if Anthony Davis have one of those unusual nights, and he has to be consistent. And I don't think that's going to happen often. They may win 1 game. I give them 1 game, maybe 2 games, but I believe that the Golden State Warriors are going to make light work of them, and this series is going to be over quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, a lot of people have thought, well, they don't have Steph Curry, so the New Orleans Pelicans should thrive on that theory, and they're proving that theory false. Okay, and that's all I can say. I feel like the next chapter of the Cleveland Cavaliers is I forgot who they play next. I think it's see how my mind wanders a lot. I was going to say they play the 76ers. I think the 76ers and the Boston Celtics play. Yes, they do. I just can't remember who the Cleveland Cavaliers play. Time I shut off this stream, it's going to come to me. But that's pretty much it. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to struggle in the East. I don't think they're going to have a hard time with the 76ers. And they're going to have an extremely hard time with the next team that they're going to play. And I had their team in the back of my mind, and I had theories on that series as well. Too bad I can't remember the freaking team that they're going to play against. But they're going to have they barely squeaked by the Indiana Pacers. If Victor Home Depot didn't miss those clutch shots 3 games ago, you know, this series could have been advantaged the Indiana Pacers, but I knew that Cleveland Cavaliers were going to get past these guys, and I'm still thinking of the Knicks. Forget it, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Eat your boy, and I'm out of here, dudes. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the love. Bye.